Musonius Rufus's nails were gone. What remained at his fingertips were stumps of living flesh, mixed with the dry, salty earth of Gyaros. The Aegean sun was unforgiving. It hit the back of the philosopher's head like a tireless hammer, forged in hell itself. There were no trees, there was no shade. The island was a stone corpse thrown into the middle of the sea, a place where the Roman Empire sent men to be forgotten, to dry up into dust. But Musonius didn't stop. He dug. Each handful of earth removed was a silent battle cry against circumstance. Sweat ran down his dirty beard, mixing with the blood on his hands. He was looking for water. The island was famous for being barren. They said that not even goats could survive there. But Musonius, the Roman Socrates, the man who looked tyranny in the eye and didn't blink, decided he would find life where death reigned. Suddenly a shadow covered the hole. It wasn't a cloud. The sky was blue, an offensive blue. It was so clear. The shadow came from a man, a young man. The tunics were made of fine linen, clean, too white for that damned place. The smell of lavender perfume fought against the smell of sulfur and sea air. The young student looked down at the hole in the ground. His eyes were wide, the mouth half open in a grimace of pure horror. He saw his master, the great nobleman, the respected intellectual, reduced to a burrowing animal. The shock paralyzed the boy. He expected to find Musonius meditating on a rock, or perhaps writing in the sand. Not that degradation. Master? The student's voice trembled, broken by pity. By Jupiter, what did they do to you? Musonius stopped. He didn't look up immediately. He felt the dampness in the earth. A small one came, a liquid hope in the middle of the desert. He smiled. It wasn't a crazy smile. It was the smile of a king who had just conquered an empire. He cupped his hands into the mud. The water gushed out, murky, brown, full of sediment. He held it up as if it were the most expensive wine in Caesar's cellar. Only then did he look at the student. His eyes shone with a ferocity that made the young man take a step back. Musonius held out his dirty hands, offering the muddy water. "Drink," ordered Musonius. The voice was hoarse, but firm as the island's granite. The student backed away, disgusted. "Master, this is mud. You are living like a mouse." "I brought food. I brought news from Rome. Nero is mad, but there is hope for a return. We can ask for leniency. You don't have to live like this. Look at this. Look at you, sir." Musonius collected his hands and drank the dirty water. He savored it, swallowed. He wiped his mouth with his bloody forearm and let out a laugh that echoed across the empty cliffs. "Clemency?" Musonius asked, standing up. He was tall, even thin. His presence filled the emptiness of the island. "You look at me and see a prisoner. I look at this water and I see freedom. Tell me, boy, what do I lack here that the emperor has in Rome?" The silence that followed was heavier than the stones of Gyaros. Let's dissect the insanity of this scene. Because to you, watching from the comfort of your air-conditioned room, with a full fridge and fast internet, Musonius looks like a lunatic. But he was the only sane man in a world that had lost its mind. To understand the weight of this dirty water, you need to understand the context. Rome was under the heel of Nero, the artist emperor, the man who burned Christians to light his gardens and killed senators because he was bored. Rome was the center of the world, yes, but it was a moral sewer. People lived in fear. If you were rich, the fear was of losing your fortune. If he was poor, he was afraid of hunger. If he was virtuous, the fear was of death, as virtue offended Nero's vice. Musonius Rufus was rich. It was influential. He could have stayed quiet. He could have flattered the tyrant, as Seneca tried to do for years. He could have lived in palaces, eating grapes peeled by slaves and sleeping on silk sheets. But he chose the truth. He preached that philosophy was not a word game for idle intellectuals. It was a war manual for life. He said that exile, poverty, and pain were not evil, they were tests. And Nero, in his small, fragile arrogance, felt threatened by a man who needed nothing. So he banned him, sent him to Gyaros. Gyaros wasn't just a prison. It was a slow death sentence. The island was known in ancient times as the place where hope went to die. There were no resources. The Roman elite sent there usually committed suicide within weeks, or it went mad, howling into the sea until they died of starvation. But when the student arrived, he did not find a dead body. He didn't find a madman. He found a man digging. And here comes the brutality of the lesson. The student felt sorry. Pity is a treacherous emotion. It puts you above others. Poor thing, you think? But Musonius destroyed this hierarchy with a single question. What do I lack here that the emperor has in Rome? Think about the audacity. Nero had the Domus Aurea, the Golden House. A palace so obscene that it had dining rooms with ceilings that rotated to spray perfume over guests. Nero had legions at his command. He had the power of life and death over millions. It had the best food, the best wines, the most beautiful women and men. Musonius had mud and stones. But Musonius had something that Nero, with all the gold in the world, would never buy: sovereignty. Nero was a slave. Slave to his desires, slave to his paranoia, slave to the opinion of the common people, slave to the fear of being murdered, which, ironically, ended up happening, with him crying like a cowardly child while trying to slit his own throat. Nero needed guards to sleep. He needed food tasters to avoid being poisoned. The most powerful man in the world trembled at every shadow. Musonius, on the desert island, slept under the stars without fear of anyone. He drank dirty water and felt the taste of victory because that water was won by his own efforts, not stolen from a peasant or served by a terrified slave. The student, standing there in his clean clothes, was more of a prisoner than the master. The student would return to Rome. I would go back to the snake's nest. Who was in exile anyway? Musonius transformed Gyaros. The story goes that he didn't just find water, he cultivated the land. Other exiles began to gather around him. Before long, that barren rock became a philosophical community. He proved in practice the most difficult Stoic thesis to swallow. The place does not make the man. The man makes the place. Most of us are weak. We are addicted to scenery. We believe that we will only be happy if we are in Paris or in a beach house or in our dream job. We condition our inner peace on external decoration. If the air conditioning breaks, our peace of mind breaks with it. If the coffee gets cold, our day is over. We are porcelain dolls, breaking at the slightest touch of reality. Musonius Rufus looked into absolute nothingness and said, "That is enough." He looked at the absence of comfort and saw the opportunity to prove his self-sufficiency. He understood that if you need luxury to be happy, you are a beggar. You are asking fate for alms. Please, destiny, give me a new car. Give me a silent neighbor. And when fate says no, you fall apart. The free man does not ask. He accepts what comes and molds it to his will. The student left the island days later. He left food and clothes, but he took with him something much heavier: shame. The shame of realizing that his freedom in Rome was an illusion. He saw a king covered in mud and realized that he himself was nothing more than a servant dressed in silk. Musonius remained. He stayed in Gyaros until Nero's death. And when he was called back to Rome, he did not return dazzled. He came back the same man. Because Rome or Gyaros, palace or cave, were irrelevant. His kingdom was inside his brain case, protected by walls that no Roman catapult could break down. Now, look at your life. Look at the things you think you need to live. The latest generation cell phone, your parents, approval, your boss's praise. The perfect relationship. You built a house of cards and call it life. Any wind knocks it down. Any economic crisis, any breakup, any illness, turns you into an emotional wreck. You complain about the traffic. Musonius dug stone to drink mud. You complain that the internet is down. Musonius was torn from his family and thrown onto a rock. You complain that people don't value you. Musonius was declared an enemy of the state and laughed in the face of death. The modern hypocrisy is blatant. We idolize comfort and then wonder why we are so anxious, so fragile, so depressed. It's because we outsource our happiness. We hand the key to our well-being into the hands of things we do not control. Musonius Rufus took the key back. He locked the door from the inside. The final lesson that the blood on his hands teaches us is that exile is not geographic. True exile is living outside oneself. It's living seeking external validation. It's living reacting to the world instead of acting on it. As long as you depend on favorable circumstances to be a decent, fair, or happy person, you will be a slave. You can wear Armani, you can drive a Mercedes, you can have 1 million followers. You are a slave. And the worst kind of slave, the one who loves his own chains because they are golden. The question that keeps echoing on the cliffs of Gyaros crosses the centuries and hits you now. In the middle of your safe and predictable routine, it's a challenge. It's not for your intellect, it's for your backbone. You say you have principles. He says he's strong. But let's be honest. That's easy to say when your belly is full and your roof is secure. The character challenge is as follows. Imagine that tomorrow you lose everything. Your bank account is zero. Your friends abandon you. Your reputation is destroyed by a lie, and you are thrown into social oblivion. You are alone in your own personal Gyaros. In this scenario, who are you? Would you have the mental strength to dig the earth with your bare hands and be grateful for the dirty water? Or would you sell out, humiliate yourself, and betray your values at the first opportunity just to regain some lost comfort? Don't give me pretty answers from someone who has read 2 philosophy books. I want the dirty truth. Comment below. If your world collapsed today, would you be a king in the mud or a slave in the palace? Choose a side. But know that the lie here is the only exile from which one cannot return.